Hey guys, so there's actually going to be another new radar detector coming to the market called the Radenso Pro, and this is it right here. This is basically a detector that's been sold overseas in Europe for a couple years now, been doing pretty well over there, and they're actually making some changes for it for the American market, and then it's going to be brought over here into the United States and sold here. So I actually had one of these, this is the first one here in the US, was sent to me for testing purposes, and I want to go ahead and share with you guys kind of my initial impressions with it, go through the menus, show you some test results, etc. This is not going to be a full test review of it, because it's going to take me a little bit of time to get comfortable with all the features and how it compares to the other products, but I wanted to go ahead and just give you a quick look at the detector and kind of show you how it compares to some of the other detectors on the market and run through the features and menu options. So, as you can see right here on the top, it says Geneva 1S. This is what it's sold as overseas in Europe. Here in the States, it's going to be renamed and rebranded as the Radenso Pro. So this has the European name on it, but the case here in the States is going to be the same, and this has the American production firmware on it as well. They've made some changes to the firmware to get like American red light cameras, band segmentation, which it has. It's got, segmentation for American guns. It's got American voices and all. So this is the American version of the firmware on the European hardware. But the hardware itself is the same. It's pretty much just the name right there. So anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and just kind of take a look at the unit. So first thing you'll notice is it's actually really tiny. That's one of the big kind of sales pitches for it. It's very tiny. And just to show you how it compares to some other detectors, let's put it side by side with some other ones. So here's the V1 right here. You can see it's definitely going to be more compact than the V1. Let's take a look at some other detectors. We've got, here is the Max 2. Looks like this. You can see it's definitely much more compact than the Max 2 even. Put it like that. So not quite half the size, but flip it over. Thickness-wise, you'll see it's got, definitely a lot shorter in this regard. A little bit thicker. What else have we got? We've got a Uniden here. Here's the LRD 950. You can see it's definitely more compact than the Uniden. One of the other most compact detectors on the market is the Cobra. This is the SPX 7800BT. You can see it's actually kind of more comparable to the Cobra in terms of size. So, but a little bit smaller on the front there. So in terms of looking at the unit, we've got 3 buttons here on top for power, going through the menus, changing the brightness. For some reason it thinks I'm near a red light camera right now, which is kind of funny. We've got some more menu options right there. We've got our volume buttons and configuration buttons right there. We've got a USB port here on the side for firmware updates and red light camera database updates. Power plug is right here on the side. Doesn't currently use the kind of RJ11 phone cable looking one. It's got this round cable here. Oops. Plug it in like that. You can watch it go ahead and load. It says Radenso. Okay. Go ahead and load. You can see it's going to have our speed right here with the GPS, and it's got our compass as well. Give us all this information as we're driving around. The lens on the back, it's actually kind of pointy. Most detectors on the market, they use kind of a rounded lens right there. This one is actually kind of pointy for some reason. I'm not sure if it's functional or what, but yeah, a little bit different there. Let's see, performance-wise, this guy actually performs very favorably to a lot of other detectors. I ran it about, 2 weeks ago, and I posted the results up on RDF. You guys, on the forums have already seen it. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the video description, and you'll get to see all the results, how this guy performs. But basically, yeah, he's performing right up there with my my V1 and my Max 2, which is awesome. He actually beat the red line even on one of the runs, which was pretty interesting, which I go into a little bit of detail as far as, how accurate that is, all that good stuff. So from what I can see on Ka band, very good performance. K-band performance is lacking somewhat. It's pretty bad performance on K-band, especially if you enable some of the filters like TSR. So K-band, it's going to be not so hot. Same thing with X-band, I believe. But Ka-band, this thing is pretty awesome. I've been talking with the manufacturer. I know there's actually some changes that they're going to be bringing about. Actually, one of the cool things is they're really good about listening to enthusiasts as far as what's important to us, what kind of features we'd like to see, what kind of changes we'd like to see. How fast they're going to implement the changes, I don't know, but I'm really curious to see because they've been really good as far as actually listening to feedback that we have to offer and then, engaging in the dialogue and saying, okay, what can we actually do? So as far as, changes and improvements based on what we have to say, it actually looks really promising. So that's actually one of the exciting things about this too is that, they're definitely engaged with us online. And so it's really awesome to see, just kind of that whole dialogue play out. But Yeah, let's see. So performance on Ka-band, very, very good. K-band, not so hot. I know they are going to be making some improvements to that, so looking forward to seeing what they bring forth there. Let's go ahead and take a look now at the display. So it's kind of got this orange display. You can't change the color or anything like you can with the Max 2, so single orange display. Let's run through the menus as well so you can see kind of what features it's got.
Setting mode. Highway mode.
Got a couple different, filter settings. So highway, city, and
Auto city mode.
auto city. Different sensitivity levels which you can change. There's a lot of control and customization that you can get there.
Highway mode.
So highway is going to be the most sensitive, of course.
Display mode.
And you'll notice it's actually talking in English, and it's got the American words here as well. So we've got it set up to show both our speed and the compass on the display. We've got a couple other options, so we can show speed and time, and I'll just run through them so you can see. Voltage, just the voltage, just the time, just the speed, and speed and compass. That's what I like, so that's how I've got it set up.
Unit. English.
English,
Unit. Metrics.
or kilometers and meters.
Unit. English.
Okay.
Display frequency.
Okay, so we can have it display the frequency of the signal when we get it,
Display bar.
signal strength,
Display frequency.
but you can't get like the signal strength in bars and the frequency at the same time.
Auto mute on.
I'll show you what a signal looks like here in a bit. So you've got auto mute functionality.
Speed set for radar.
So you've got like a low speed muting option. So if you wanted to mute at low speeds, you can do that. And you can basically set what speed. Let's see how high it goes up. You want it to mute under. Oh, I can go pretty high here. Geez, how high can you go? 130? So I would like my detector to mute anything as long as I'm doing under 130 miles an hour. But if I'm going over than that, I need to know. That's funny that it goes that high, but okay. So you've got that option.
Expand off.
We can turn our bands on and off.
Expand off. Expand off.
Okay.
K-band wide.
So this is pretty interesting. We do have band segmentation available for K-band and Ka-band. So here's K-band. We can do either wide, which is the entire spectrum,
K-band narrow.
or K-band narrow. I don't know the exact range of frequencies for K-band. I can look it up and I'll post it on the screen so you guys can see what I believe it is.
K-band instant only.
I'm not exactly sure what that is. That's kind of interesting.
K-band off. K-band wide.
Okay, so we'll just run it in K-band wide. Here in the States, we'd run K-band wide just because, legit can be all over the place. So there's our implementation of TSR. They call it traffic sensor rejection. You can turn it on and off. I did notice a reduction in range as usual with turning this guy on, which is not that great considering the K-band performance is already kind of poor. One thing I do like about the implementation of TSR is that it's designed in such a way where it's not a huge delay like you'll see in some of the other detectors. It's more of a minimal delay, which is pretty nice. I like that. So I'm kind of running through so it doesn't kick me out of the menus. So let's take a look at Ka-band.
K-band narrow.
Ka-band narrow is going to be your band segmentation option,
K-band off.
and Ka-band off entirely if you'd like that.
K-band wide.
When I'm testing it, I've been testing it in wide mode, basically Ka super wide, all frequencies, because there is an issue with the reporting of the Ka-band frequencies, which I'll show you here in a second. So we'll get to that.
K-pop off.
Ka-band pop. You can turn the feature on and off. I tested it out. The detector is actually not able to detect Ka-band pop, so I reported that to the manufacturer. They went ahead and acquired a Ka-band gun that has pop capabilities, and they're going to be working on that to take care of that issue.
Laser band on.
Laser sensitivity. I haven't done some full testing. My initial basic testing does seem like sensitivity is a little bit lower than what I've seen with some of the other detectors, but I haven't done some full testing to see how well it performs.
Startup sound off.
There's a little jingle you can have it play when it starts up, if you like. I've got it turned off.
GPS connected announcement off.
Okay, so whether or not you want it to let you know when it's got GPS or not.
GPS connected announcement on.
So on or off.
GPS connected. GPS detection by database type.
Okay, so let's see. Speed camera on or off, whether or not you want those alerts.
GPS warning distance.
How far away you want your alerts to occur. Normal, further, farthest. Normal, okay. So I've got a couple options there as far as distance. I don't know the exact distances.
Setting local time.
So we can set what our local time is here. I believe that's correct.
Factory reset.
Okay. you've got that option there.
All user point will be deleted. Are you sure?
Okay.
Highway mode.
There we go. So there's just running through the options. So you can see now all the words and the voices here are in English. So this is, like I said, the American version, despite the fact that it's got the European name there on top. So there's a look at the Radenso Pro. Let's see. Oh, what I wanted to show you guys was some of the issues I found with it, which actually is really cool because they're known issues. They're actually going to be taking a look at it and curious to see how well everything gets implemented and how quickly. But check this out. I've got my Stalker 2 right here, 34/7 gun. It usually gets reported around 34.664 or so. But check out what happens when I transmit.
K8 band.
So you can see we've got the signal strength there. Right now it's saying 4 or 5. It's reporting the signal strength is 34.504. This is a 34.7 gun. So in this case, it's off by about 200 megahertz. Now the issue with that is if you enable band segmentation, it's 33.8, I think like 34.3 or something, 34.7 and 35.5 plus minus 120 megahertz. So because it's actually misreporting these Ka frequencies, and I saw the same thing on 33.8 and 35.5 in testing, because it's incorrectly reporting the frequencies, if you enable band segmentation, it's actually not going to be alerting to these guns because the legit frequencies it thinks are actually outside the range of what it would report. So because of that, I'm having to actually run it in Ka super wide so it alerts to everything and not running band segmentation. So kind of a weird issue there. It's something that they know about, they're going to be working on. One thing that was kind of interesting is when I tested this guy out, I ran it without band segmentation enabled, while I ran all the other detectors like the red line and the V1 with band segmentation and custom sweeps. And yet this guy actually performed very, very well relative to the other detectors without actually using band segmentation, which is interesting. So if they fix the issue with segmentation and the performance happens to get even better, that's going to be really, really interesting to see. It also has red light camera alerts. I was doing some testing earlier today with this guy and a bunch of other detectors along with Waze to see how it performs. Seems pretty comparable to everything else. It's going to take me a little bit of time, obviously, to get a really good feel as far as how good the database is, accuracies, inaccuracies, all that kind of stuff. But it alerted to a lot of the red light cameras here in the area. Not perfect, just like everything else. They all kind of have their quirks, but it does work. Let's see, what else is there to say? Pricing, it's going to be sold here in the States once it's released for about 400 bucks. So that's really cool. Price-wise, it's not going to be a $200 detector, so it's going to be priced the same as a V1, cheaper than the Max, cheaper than the Redline. Let's see, what else? GPS lockouts are not available on the detector, but from what I understand, they are under development, which is pretty cool. I know that behind the scenes, they've been doing everything properly as far as patents, making sure everything is licensed as needed to implement GPS, so it seems like they're doing everything right. Customer service, they've been very, very awesome on the forums as far as, talking to us as potential customers, enthusiasts, all this kind of stuff. So seems like a pretty exciting product. The performance is there. This guy is not a Cobra in terms of performance. It's got a lot of cool features like the red light camera alerts. It doesn't have lockouts, like I said, but that's a feature that from what I understand is under development. So got band segmentation. There's still some quirks to kind of work out before this thing is released, in terms of the final spec version. But as far as I can see, this thing is looking pretty cool. What else? This middle button right here is for the display.
Dim.
Got a couple different brightness levels.
Smart dark.
Smart dark, I believe, turns off the display, and then if we get an alert,
K8 band.
the alert would then pop up on the screen. So you've got that option, which is kind of slick. You'll see that was 34.7. It alerted as what? 34.455.
Dark.
We've got full dark if we want that.
K8 band.
So we're getting our signal, but nothing on the display. So if you want true dark, you do have that option as well.
Bright.
Bright. There is no auto sensitivity level where it can kind of go brighter and darker with, based on the ambient light. There is no sensor, which has that capability, so that feature is not available. But as you can see, we've got our radar detector, all the horns right back here. We've got our laser sensor right there. So yeah, as far as what I can see so far, it definitely looks like a promising unit. The radar detection is there, especially on Ka band. K-band, that's something that they're going to be improving. They're also going to be working on releasing a remote version of this unit. So think STIR Plus or 9500 CI, right? The remote version that you can install in your grill. So from what I understand, they're going to be working on releasing that as well. I have no idea as far as pricing, time frame, anything like that. It's just kind of one of the other things that they're working on. So yet another really interesting thing that can be coming out. So yeah, there you go. There's just a quick first look at the Geneva 1S, aka the American version is the Radenso Pro. Kind of a weird name, but you know. Yeah, definitely looks like one of the interesting ones to keep an eye out for. Oh, yeah, another thing I wanted to mention, just kind of, you know, as I'm getting a feel for this guy, the cigarette lighter cable has actually a button right here in the end. You can press it to turn it off like that, and then if you want, you can actually turn the detector on with the button here. So, I think I might have mentioned that earlier on. I don't remember. But, yeah, there you go. So, anyways, just random stuff. So that's a quick look at the Radenso Pro, it's called. Yeah, keep an eye out for, you know, more videos, test results, updates, all that kind of stuff. When they're going to be available for sale, I don't know exactly yet, but from what I do know, it's going to retail for about $400. So, and I'll post a link to you know, the website. The website's currently under construction, you know, still under development. But I'll show you where you can go. You know, if you're interested in learning more information or potentially purchasing one once they are available, I'll post a link to the website in the video description as well. So there you go. Hope that's been helpful, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.